Chewando lies on the outskirts of Kampala. We were here to see Joel Angusha, a father of 3. Emotions in the house ran like a fickle stream. On 31st December 2019, Angusha, his wife and 3 children attended prayers to usher in a new year at Christ the King Church in Kampala. After prayers, he waited for the big moment. Fireworks. He drove his family back home in a car which he had borrowed from a friend. At Mawanda, Chewando rode towards the flyover. Catastrophe struck.
As we were sloping to cross to Chewando is where we had gunshots. And in that gunshots, we didn't know that we were shot. I continued driving. After crossing the bridge is when we realized that we were shot.
The bullets fired by trigger-happy local defense unit officer went through the front screen, hitting Angusha's 2 daughters, who were seated in the back seat. These are images of the car they were traveling in, pockmarked with bullet holes.
My daughter was already in the pool of blood where we parked near our home. What I just decided quickly was to rush her to the nearby health center.
With the permission of the parents, we spoke to Linia Caroline Angusha, who is 10 years old, and she recounts what befell her on the fateful night.
It was night. I couldn't see now what was that. I thought it was water or what, but it was blood.
Linia and Latasi Emanuela were rushed to a nearby clinic for first aid.
The health officer who was present by that time referred us to go to Mulago at the casualty because they can't handle cases of shooting.
The children were later taken to Mulago Hospital for assessment and treatment.
We got a reference to get a CT scan from Nakasero Hospital. We brought it back. Nothing was done, up to 5.
The CT scan shows that 1 bullet is stuck in Linia's inner layer of the skull. The second child, Latasi Manuela, was hit by a fragment which is stuck in the second layer of the skull. Although her condition is not so worrying, she has gone through a lot of pain. After 3 months, Latasi was again taken to hospital. Later, the 2 girls were discharged from hospital, but Linia must remain on medication, which she takes every morning. This means that Angusha, who is a civil engineer and currently is out of employment, must meet the cost of buying drugs and fending for his family.
Sometimes when she's just seated like that, you call her, she can't respond for you. And just sees you like that, just absent-minded. And then sometimes you call her for 3 or 4 times. That's when she's also respond for you.
When Linia doesn't take the drugs, she gets complications.
I'm very worried because now there is a bullet in your head. How can you see? Don't you see that you are having a bullet? You just see other people are just, yeah, they are okay, but you are the one who's feeling the headache, the what, the pain.
If she's not taking medicine, there is also a problem. We can't sleep unless she just take that medicine. So for us, we don't have money here. Even money for the food is now difficult.
Early on, barely after the shooting incident, Angusha, in a quest for justice, drove to Mawanda police station where he reported the matter.
Involved, and it is only 1 count. It's only 1 person who shot all these people. So you people have come, you have brought your medical report for the operation. It's fine. We are yet to gather. We are yet to do they haven't done the postmortem report for the other person who died. There were some patients who were treated in Zambia. They haven't brought their medical forms here. They call it, is it police form 3 or form 1? So they haven't brought all those forms. So as being a 1 file, I request you people to come back after some 2 weeks.
Angusha has reported to police on a number of occasions. When he was told that the file was closed, he found it baffling and sought answers from the resident state attorney.
We requested to see what is the comment in the file. We found the comment in the file was saying that complainant unknown And then also the suspect unknown, complainant is not there, file closed.
I visited Mawanda Kapapari police station to talk to the OC station to inquire about the incident. The OC said he was aware of the case and the file was ready but did not want to comment on record because he is not authorized to speak to the media.
The station, I thought it would have arrested the suspect and maybe he's granted bail by court because this is a...
No, those people were really guided very well. I don't know why they keep going on saying things which are not there. But right now that file, I think, it's either in Wandegea or forwarded to police headquarters. Everything is being handled.
Then where is the suspect? Where is the whereabouts of the suspect?
Unless I just have to find out now.
But did you ever arrest the suspect?
Yeah.
And how was he released?
It was from Wandegea.
You arrested and took him to Wandegea?
Yeah, so.
It's where he was released from?
Yeah.
All right.
I visited Wandegea police so that I could put some questions to the head of the homicide unit. Upon reaching the gate, we were told by the officer manning security at the gate that they were under instructions not to allow anyone with a camera into the police station. The investigating officer referred me to the police public relations officer. At Central Police, we spoke to the Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson Patrick Onyango and asked him why the file was closed prematurely.
At first, the file had not been, it was hurriedly taken to State Anthony before completion or before getting facts from other sources, which facts were got later on and was put in the file.
According to Angusha, it was after human rights agencies and media intervened that investigations commenced. Angusha and the children were not the only victims of the shooting. 29-year-old Roland Agaba, a resident of Chisasi, was shot in the stomach at the same spot by the errant LDU after attending prayers. After church service near Mlago, Agaba felt safe and had begun walking back. Narrating his ordeal, Agaba says barely after he ambled out of church premises towards the Mawanda Chebando Road, he witnessed commotion as scores were scampering for their safety.
So when I keep on moving, I hear something in my back, very hot. For me, I didn't know that it is a bullet because I have never been bit by the bullet. I just keep on moving. I decided, what is this? They keep some watch, burning me. From in my heart, I think that the way how I have been in church seated, I'm very weak. Let's run a bit so that I can gain that power and I move. When I start running, the things burns me seriously. By that time, I was having a leather jacket. I just opened like this to see what is in my back. When I opened the jacket, the intestines here, as you see here, I first see the intestines coming out. I fear.
Amid pain, fear and anguish, Agaba tried to stop a border in vain.
So I started looking at border. Everybody was said, when I see the border and I try to stop it so that it can help me to take me back to Mulago Katare, they refuse because of being bent like this. Maybe they think that this one is a drunkard.
He was then dashed by a border cyclist to a nearby clinic and later transferred to Nsambia Hospital.
The first doctor comes, asked me that what's happened. I didn't answer that one. I just opened again my jacket. The doctor, when he sees those intestines, he just runs away.
His father is a farmer who sold most of his properties, including cows, and acquired a bank loan to foot hospital bills that exceed 20 million shillings. As a result, Agaba's father failed to raise school fees for his sisters in Bushenyi, their home district. When Agaba lay helpless, yet he's the breadwinner, his wife realized that their future was going to be full of challenges.
Landlord yatugoba nguye tasobola kubeera n'omulwadde ali bw'ati mu mbeera eno talina kyasobola kusasula nnyumba ze. Muganda we n'amuleeta wano we tubeera kati naye kati ne muganda we atuuse okulemererwa.
Agaba was a school van driver but lost his job after government closed schools. He tried to find other driving jobs, but the side effects of the shooting are taking toll on him.
When you get a job of driving, automatically, it has to be a manual car. So when you use that leg, they at the crutch, when it do what? It paralyzed.
For now, he can only drive automatic cars. It's becoming hard to fend for his family.
Even if you can call my father now, the bank is still wanted that money. Last time I told him that my father, you help me with the 10,000, and because I'm very broke, he sent me the message he forwarded the message of the bank.
He has rent areas for the 7 months for the small one-roomed house he lives in. At a nearby shop, his credit for groceries has shot to 380,000 shillings. The scars are still visible, but a year later, Agaba is yet to receive justice or any compensation after filing a complaint with police. When he tried to follow the case after healing, he was told the same story as Angusha, that his file was closed.
After calling to anti-corruption unit, because I remember the OC of Wandega told me that I'm very bad because I have called to the anti-corruption. So when I returned back to Wandega, they show me my file.
However, in a strange twist of events, Major Bilal Katamba, the Public Relations Officer, UPDF 1st Infantry Division, told NTV that Agaba is a wanted man.
Agaba is a suspect in this. The suspect, after hearing, is supposed to go to courts.
But according to police, the suspect in the attempted murder of 3 people is Daniel Ayebari. Ayebari was released on police bond pending investigations.
Why was there a hurry to release this suspect on bond?
This was a genuine Ugandan who was not feeling well, and they had to give him police bond.
When a suspect is given a police bond, you're supposed to be reporting after a specific time. So in this case, how often was this suspect reporting at Wandega police station?
He was reporting after every 2 weeks, but I think the bond was extended because the investigations were taking long. And in that process, I think that's where he was transferred from one station to another.
According to Nyango, police is going to write to the army to produce the suspect in court as the file has been sanctioned.
We are to write to our counterparts, the UPDF, to avail us the suspect so that we produce him in court.
The army is not aware of this plan. Are you ready to produce this suspect in court?
If we see a police report, we compare maybe with the report that we have here, and we see we cannot hide anybody. We cannot cover anybody if he's suspected. If the circumstances under which he shot was not the one that we have, then the story can change.
On the contrary, the army claims it does not know the shooter. Do you know who the shooter was, or do you have the shooter?
I didn't know that the security personnel had been turned into a suspect. I think our legal team and maybe the SIB and intelligence will sit with the police and reconcile those facts.
Linia, who has a bullet lodged in her skull, has developed complications due to the medicine she's taking. Pulse of heart and brain analysis report card shows that Linia has heart peripheral resistance, which is severely abnormal. Those are 3+. Heart peripheral resistance is the resistance of the arteries to flow blood. And the moment the resistance is high, then someone can easily get high blood pressure. And the moment it's low, somebody can easily have organ malfunctioning. And the summary of all these complications, they make Linia's life quite hard and unpredictable. We spoke to an expert doctor who did the organ analysis.
When someone starts getting headache, one of the biggest, because there are 14 types of headache, one of the biggest causes of headache is the liver, due to high viscosity high blood viscosity, arising to larger molecules of blood going to the brains with a force when it's supposed to travel normally. Just like diabetics. So when I got that problem, I said, fine, you come, I treat the liver, and there's no bill. I'm going to handle the bill myself. So I treat the girl's liver, take medicine for about 30 days, just a tablet per day. And then thereafter, then I now see, we are going to retest. Now, when the blood flow to the brain is perfect, but when the liver absorbs is perfect, it means there's no challenge with the liver. Then I can now handle the chronic pain. I will see how to approach it.
The army still insists that the 10-year-old was not hit in the head.
She was not badly injured. I have shown you the report I have. That's the intelligence report that it brushed her on the forehead, and she wasn't in bad condition.
For your own information, the child you're talking about that the bullet brushed, actually the report shows that the bullet is still in her head. And so I would want to know your intelligence information that you're getting. Is it from medical intelligence personnel, or it's just the usual intelligence that you gather from sources?
Personally, I've not seen the medical report from the medical professionals. And then, if it's available, we can look at it.
As the forces continue to conflict about the veracity of this incident, this has worsened the plight of the victims. The victims remain at the mercy of the forces, who are reluctant to probe this incident, which is a travesty of justice. Despite all these difficulties, intractable problems and pain, Linia's dreams can't be vanquished by her complex medical condition.
I want to be a doctor, you see? Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a very good job.
Both Angushi and Agaba have tried to use legal means to compel government, which could be vicariously liable to compensate the victims. But the lawyers asked for an astronomical 20 million shillings to take up each case. Agaba approached a human rights body.
I got that card on 4th August 2020. They have never called me to check. Agaba, how are you? They have never. Wherever I call this number that is written behind here, they can't pick it.
Even after this trauma, Linia can still wear a smile. Her parents can barely afford the hospital bills in a country that chronically sets aside a special fund to facilitate the treatment of VIPs in first-class hospitals abroad. Referral hospitals, which are free of charge, are in ailing state and usually run out of basic drugs like Panadol. This tragic story is not isolated in a country where victims of trigger-happy security personnel remain crippled and shackled behind the curtain wall of trauma and depression without help from government. Today, the shooter has not appeared before any competent court of law to face charges. He continues to freely roam the streets.
With what I have passed through, I wish I had died.
Sudhir Yaruhanga, NTV.